Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession led by College Marshal Catherine Ambrosiak, College of Architecture and Design Dean Scott Poole, and Chancellor Jimmy Cheek.
Good evening. Would everybody please stand for the singing of our national anthem, led by vocalist Lindsay Fuson. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Please be seated. Please be seated. Now we get to that part. Please be seated. Welcome. My name is Scott Poole. It's my honor to serve as the Dean of the College of Architecture and Design. We welcome you, honored graduates, your relatives and friends, our faculty, administration, and staff, to the spring commencement at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Thank you for being with us today as we celebrate the graduates of the College of Architecture and Design, class of 2016. Before we continue, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Kathy Leach and the string trio of the University of Tennessee School of Music. Thank you for sharing your talent with us today. Also, thank you to Bandit Lights for the donation of the lighting for today's ceremony. I would also like to thank the fabulous staff of the College of Architecture and Design for their efforts in planning and coordinating today's graduation and reception. In particular, we want to thank Assistant to the Dean, Jenny Collins, and Administrative Assistant Vanessa Arthur for their fine work. On behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture and Design, I want to extend our praise, admiration, and good wishes to each of our graduates and their families. You've worked exceptionally hard and achieved so much. We thank families as well as friends, loved ones, and colleagues for their immense contribution to your success. Before we continue, I'd like to ask members of the class of 2016 to rise and recognize families and friends who are with us today to share this momentous occasion. Now will the class of 2016 remain standing. Please join me in recognizing all of today's graduates. Please be seated. We would like to extend a very special welcome to an alumnus who graduated from the University of Tennessee. I would like to recognize Major General Jeffrey H. Holmes, father of Bryce Rucker Holmes. Major General Holmes graduated from the College of Architecture and Design with a Bachelor of Architecture in 1985. He founded J. Holmes Architecture in February 2012. We are very pleased to have Dr. Jimmy Cheek in attendance. Chancellor Cheek will be conferring degrees today, and we look forward to hearing from him later in the program. Graduates, I'm honored to be standing in front of you tonight to help mark this milestone moment in your lives. I feel a special connection to this class because your first day in the A&A was my beginning as well. Together, we've spent many hours in our iconic building, many of those late at night. We've experienced how our curriculum challenges students, faculty, and the administration. Together, we've attended reviews and lectures, enjoyed tasks, roasted pigs, celebrated successes, and worked through difficulties. And we've supported each other as we've grown in our knowledge of this college and campus. I saw you enter as teenagers and see you now, ready to depart as young adults. I know you're ready for the world and the professions you've chosen. You've strained and challenged and pushed yourselves further than you thought possible. You've conquered so much already. I couldn't be more proud of you. Parents, family, and friends, I've had the privilege of serving as dean of this fine college for 5 years. I started my role as this class of 2016 was entering the college. This group of graduates before us tonight, while a relatively small class, are dynamic and tough, creative and determined. They are indeed ready for the world. While I've had the honor of accompanying them through their journey each day, you've been the foundation that supports them every minute. Your late-night pep talks, your enthusiasm for their accomplishments, not to mention those frantic trips to the bank to deposit a bit more for studio supplies. All of these and many more expressions of support for our graduates have been so very important. On behalf of the graduates and the faculty and staff of the college, I thank you. It's always a challenge to write a commencement speech. Commencement ceremonies can seem like a pothole in the trip across the stage. Graduates want to make the trip, then travel on to their more celebratory destinations for the evening. You all are ready for that, right? Families want to see their students cross the stage. It's kind of a lose-lose proposition for us speakers. But as your dean, I do want to leave you with 3 points, 3 thoughts. Everyone, I hopefully skip that page. I hope you'll hear these and take them to heart. Number 1, embrace potholes. When I think back to your 4 or 5 years here, I realize you faced and embraced many changes that could have derailed you. Midway through your time in the college, just when your ride was becoming comfortable, we switched your workstations, moved the computer lab from a remote room in the building, and opened the Fab Lab and gave you new state-of-the-art tools. I'm so impressed with how you embraced these changes, made them work for you, and excelled with them. This resilience will be very important as you move through your careers. You've become equipped to handle change and challenge. You can do this because you've already done it. Number 2, take detours. Our brilliant faculty have challenged you to think beyond reason, to imagine alternatives to what everyone else takes for granted, to open your minds to other possibilities, to be ready to accept other perspectives. You've attained excellence, often because you've courageously allowed yourselves to expand your thinking and consider new horizons. More than many previous generations, you're ready for the challenges that spur innovation. Continue to take these detours of the mind in the pursuit of excellence. Number 3, remember where you parked. I tend to forget that since I'm a geezer. Every journey begins with a place of origin. The University of Tennessee and our College of Architecture and Design are your points of origin. Take with you the pride you feel as a Tennessee volunteer. Come back and give to your college and campus. We just celebrated the college's 50th anniversary. Thousands of hands and minds established the successful place you've called home for your years here. You stood on the shoulders as you reached for success. Now it's time for you to take this place with you to support it and allow future generations who come to our college to stand on your shoulders. Students, I'm hopeful that you'll take the spirit of inquiry and discovery that now radiates in you all across the globe as you journey from this place. We all look forward to collaborating with you in the future. Your education at the University of Tennessee has helped you to adapt, grow, and change, to be resilient. The challenge before you now is to change the world for the better in the same way you transform yourselves. Journey on. At this point, I would like to introduce all members of the stage party. Will the stage party members stand as they are introduced and remain standing until all members have been recognized. Dr. Jimmy G. Cheek, Chancellor. Robin Klehr Avia, honorary degree recipient, Regional Managing Director of Gensler. Dr. Kola Ann Beal, Dean, College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. David Matthews, Professor and Associate Dean for Facilities and Technology and Director of the School of Interior Design. Jason Young, Professor and Director, School of Architecture. Gail Fulton, Associate Professor, Associate Dean for Research, and Director, School of Landscape Architecture. James Rose, Adjunct Assistant Professor, School of Architecture, and Director of the Institute for Smart Structures. Catherine Ambrosiak, Associate Professor, School of Architecture. Jerry Clifton Sullivan, Student, School of Architecture, Undergraduate Program. Amanda Page Webb, Student, School of Interior Design. Justin M. Hare, Student, School of Architecture, Graduate Program. Come on. Luis Diego Venegas, Student, School of Landscape Architecture. Please join me in recognizing our stage party with a round of applause. Please be seated. I would like now to introduce University of Tennessee Knoxville Chancellor, Dr. Jimmy G. Cheek. Dr. Cheek became the 7th Chancellor of the University of Tennessee Knoxville on February 1st, 2009. Through his leadership, the campus is focused on improving students' educational experiences, enhancing faculty research and scholarship, as well as outreach and service. A first-generation college student, Dr. Cheek set in motion several initiatives to broaden UT Knoxville's diversity and student access to this university. Dr. Cheek earned his bachelor's degree with high honors and his doctorate from Texas A&M University. He received his master's degree from Lamar University. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Cheek.
Thank you, Scott. Now we have a very special presentation. The granting of an honorary degree is a unique and special occasion. It is an honor reserved for individuals who have made lasting impact and have helped make the world a better place. The decision to grant an honorary degree involves campus administration, a committee of the Faculty Senate, and the Board of Trustees. Our university has only granted 12 honorary degrees in its history. Honorees have included Senator Howard Baker, entertainer Dolly Parton, former Vice President Al Gore, journalist John Siegenthaler, and human rights activist Marian Wright Edelman. Today, we are pleased to add Ms. Robin Avia to this distinguished list. She earned her degree in interior design from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville in 1976. She came to the university from New Jersey. She is a regional managing principal and chair of the executive committee of Gensler, which has been ranked the #1 design firm in the world by Architectural Record and the most admired design firm by Interior Design Magazine. She also serves on the firm's board of directors and its managing committee. For 36 years, her vision and leadership have contributed much to the firm's growth and global success. She has helped grow the Northeastern and Latin American regions from a single office of 24 people to more than 1,000 professionals located in 8 locations. She has also helped expand the firm's Canada and Central and South America and serves as co-managing principal of these regions. She has also directed award-winning projects that include the New York Times headquarters, the Condé Nast Publishing Company headquarters at One World Trade Center. She has been profiled by the New York Times, and her work has been featured in the top trade publications, including Interior Design, Architectural Record, and World Architecture. She was recently acknowledged as a power designer, part of the Commercial Observer's annual Power 100 list that celebrates the most influential individuals in New York City real estate. Our Architecture and Design Dean, Scott Poole, describes her as a driving force in the world of architecture and design. She is committed to giving back and providing opportunities for young people and those who are aspiring to be young designers. She is and always has been one of the most dedicated advocates for the College of Architecture and Design. Many Tennessee volunteers hold key positions in Gensler. She has served on the National Board of Girls Incorporated and the Lower Manhattan Cultural Council Board. She is a trustee emeritus of Dwight Englewood School and served on the advisory board of the New York School of Interior Design. She has received many design awards, including the Business Week Architectural Record Award, the International Interior Design Association's Decade of Design Award, and several national awards from the Society of American Registered Architects. She is past member of the National Board of International Design Association and was elected to the prestigious College of Fellows in 2000. She shares a passion for the power, beauty, and simplicity of quality design. She is a gifted strategist who is well known for her ability to know exactly where her industry is headed well into the future. She thrives on solving problems and improving workspaces and productivity through innovative design. Because of her tremendous impact on the industry and her dedication to opening so many doors for others, it is fitting to bestow upon her an honorary degree from her alma mater. I would invite Robin Avia and also Dean Poole to join me at the podium now, please. It is my great pleasure to confer upon you the highest degree that we can confer, the Honorary Doctorate of Fine Arts. Now she will give the commencement address. Thank you very much. Congratulations. You're certainly welcome. You're very accomplished.
Thank you.
That's my part.
Okay. Hi. Well, thank you, Chancellor Cheek and Dean Poole, for this incredible, incredible honor. It's really a pleasure to return to my alma mater once again and share this wonderful day with all of you. I want to congratulate the members of the class of 2016 for your achievement, and I want to share those congratulations with your family, your professors, your spouses, and others in your support network who I know see this day as the fulfillment of one dream and the beginning of a new one. I am so happy to be joined here today by some very important people in my life. My husband, my partner and best friend, Ken. My daughter, Allie, who is here with her boyfriend, Shannon, and we like him. My brother, Lenny, and my sister-in-law, Susan, my brother, Harvey, and my nephews, Eli and Zach. When I graduated from here 40 years ago, I never made it to my graduation ceremony. My father had recently passed away, and my mother was not up to making the trip. So my being here today means more to me than you can imagine. To be here with this graduating class, to receive an honorary degree. It feels like the graduation that I never had, and I am so grateful that the most important people in my life are here to share it with me. When I learned that I would be addressing you today, I put together a focus group of recent design graduates at the Gensler offices in New York. The group included some people some of you might know. Sam Atkinson and Michelle Hogue, members of the University of Tennessee Schools of Architecture and Design class of 2013. I asked them what they wanted to hear at their commencement. Two topics rose to the top: how to be successful and how to make a difference in the world. Now, these aren't unusual themes for commencement speeches, but the more I thought about them, the more I realized that being successful in life and making a difference in the world are really two sides of the same coin. When you're just starting out, sure, they may seem like separate subjects, but take my word for it. They're connected, and that connection has a bearing on how to think about success itself. Success is important. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with an owner's manual, and it sure doesn't come with a roadmap. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Those are words made famous by John Lennon, although not originated by him. Yes, life does happen, and we learn to deal with it. For most people, that includes aiming for success. But let me suggest to you that's not enough. You need to aim for success and to make a difference. In other words, aim to be significant. Significance, unlike fame, is not a one-off. It's not about what you did last week or last month, but what you did over the course of many years. It's your life's work, and it's your reputation. How do you gain a reputation? Well, it doesn't come from what you tell people about yourself or from your selfies, cat pics, or cleverly artistic posts on Instagram. A reputation is built from what other people experience with you over time, over the course of an entire career. A reputation is built by consistently doing the right thing, not the expedient thing. Your reputation needs to be sustainable and renewable, and it takes constant reinvention. That's because change is inevitable. Sustaining yourself and your career in the face of change means developing your capacity to endure. But how you endure isn't simply a matter of adapting and renewing. Of course, you need to do that, but you also need to not change in certain ways. You need to maintain your core, your inner sense of self, because as that self grows and matures, it becomes the key to something much bigger. As you become older, you become to realize that a meaningful life is not about personal gain, but about what you leave behind. Unlike success, significance is not just personal, something you accomplish for yourself. It's about the difference we make in other people's lives. Significance is found in the passionate people who surround us, in the important work we do, and in the impact that our work has on others. We're all lucky to be designers because the design profession provides us every day with the opportunity to change lives and make the world a better place. My firm Gensler works for every type of client. We design everything from wine labels to airports to the Shanghai Tower, China's tallest building. In almost any field of human endeavor that you can think of, from arts and entertainment to retail and sports to urban design, transportation, and technology, you'll find Gensler Designs. We design prep schools, charter schools, app academies, and university campuses and buildings. Africa, Asia, Australia, the Americas, and Europe. We're working on 6 continents. I was just in San Jose, Costa Rica last month, where we have an office of 180 designers, the largest design firm in Central America, barely 10 years old. More than 200 million people a day experience a Gensler design. The work we do is significant. It makes a difference. But making a difference isn't just about the work we do for clients. At Gensler, we have a grassroots program called G-Serve that combines smaller efforts into projects that benefit entire communities. Our regions and officers are able to support local nonprofits through their G-Serve team's involvements in causes such as housing, schools, and recreation for the disadvantaged. We encourage teams and studios to do pro bono work. We recently signed the Paris Climate Change Accord, as did many of our clients, and are committing resources to this vital project. Whenever there's a major disaster in one of our regions, we determine the role that we as designers can play in meeting the urgent needs of those affected. As designers, individually and collectively, that is our obligation. We also have an obligation as designers to never stop growing. It's hard to believe how much has changed in the world since I graduated from here 40 years ago. When I asked Michelle and Sam to capture in words what stood out for them about the experience of studying design at the school, the only word or phrase they gave me that I recognized was charrette. Clearly, our terminology has changed. Our tools have changed as well. I've seen the tools of design go from the T-square and the triangle to BIM, Rhino, and virtual reality. For non-designers, that's comparable to how typewriters and telephones became iPhones and iPads. So who's driving all of this change? We designers are not driving it. It's our clients who are driving it. And clients, they matter. As our sponsors, they make everything possible. Not having a client is a disaster. So as they change, we need to change right along with them. As a designer, your relentless focus needs to be, how can I help my client through design? How can I help them achieve their goals? What motivates them? And what is it that makes our work accessible and compelling to them? But equally important, you need to recognize when and how these answers to these questions change, and depending on those answers, how you need to change the way you do things. That is the only way you can stay relevant and significant to your clients. I remembered that when we designed the workplace for Renzo Piano headquarters for the New York Times, Michael Golden, our client, said something which captured why we work so hard. He said, "This building is designed from the ground up to reinforce our company values. The open plan and ease of communication will enhance collaboration. Our new physical environment will improve the way we work, which is the highest calling of architecture." Recently, Gensler was selected as the architect designer for the significant building renewal project at the iconic Ford Foundation building in Midtown Manhattan. This provides us with an opportunity to support, through innovative design, an organization at the forefront of the struggle for social justice and human dignity. Our work at Ford positions us as leaders for this landmark renewal and also reflects our shared commitment to environmental responsibility, workplace transparency, and increased access for all citizens. Organizations around the world need to be innovative, and that means looking to designers to envision a better future that results in transformation. These examples speak to the significance of design. They also speak to our need as designers to learn about fields far removed from our own, and not only about what's on our clients' minds today, but what's ahead 5 or 10 years from now. We have to understand their hopes and dreams. As designers, we have to do our work so that clients can think about and imagine their work. The tools and techniques that we use must be relevant in helping clients envision what's being proposed and speed up decision making. Being relevant also requires a team. If we're designing an airport, for example, we need to know about more than just transportation. We also need design expertise in technology, workplace, hospitality, retail, the list goes on. Airports today are increasingly looking to forge closer relationships with their cities, to draw and reflect the best of the city's culture and consumer offerings. The world today is far too complex to undertake any design project without access to design expertise across a broad range of disciplines. So, don't be fooled by all the fame that has historically surrounded the iconic designer or architect. You know, the genius dressed all in black with funky glasses. Yes, it's true, we often do fit this stereotype. And yes, it's still up to the designer to realize design's potential to make a difference. But she or he is not on a solo mission to solve complex problems. Achieving significance takes a team. When I started out in this profession, I worked for a prominent designer. She wasn't the easiest boss, but she challenged me to aim higher. She taught me that great work is about holding yourself accountable for delivering it. I worked long days and most weekends. When you're starting out, proving yourself, you put in the time, because if you get results, you'll get noticed. And if you get noticed, you'll find sponsors. Sponsors matter in design. When you're starting out, internal sponsors make room for you, give you chances to grow and to stretch, and give you honest feedback that you can build on. They are your advocates, helping you gain access to new clients and new opportunities. Mentors provide you with value advice, but sponsors, they make things happen for you. Your internal sponsors help you build your network of clients, the real sponsors in our world. The time and effort it takes to build your sponsor network, to do the great projects that attract them and make it worth their time and effort, has consequences to your personal life. How we deal with this is one of life's biggest challenges. Well, this isn't a new topic, because the need to balance work and life never fails to come up in my conversation with young designers. So I say, ask yourself, is your work somehow separate from your life? Balance is healthy, but you can't really separate life into distinct categories, especially now when living, working, and playing blend together. The truth is, in the long run, if your career is going to have a long run, your work and your personal life must become mutually supportive and synergistic. When you're in a creative profession, your work is very much part of your life. It's who you are. The creative work you do reflects your worldview. This is especially true for designers who enter this vocation because we're motivated by our love of style and art, by the way we can change people's lives. When you're in that zone, it doesn't feel like work. The question of balance is a decision you make for yourself based on your individual circumstances. But it's much easier to do this if you understand the close interpersonal relationship between your work and the rest of your life. Treating work and life together means you need a network of people who not only share and embrace your life together, but are supportive of your work. When my daughter was young, my husband and I had demanding jobs that required travel and long hours. In spite of our crazy work schedule, we made it to almost all of our daughter's lacrosse and tennis games. 10 years ago, I missed a Gensler board meeting in Shanghai to be at my daughter's pre-prom party. I will never forget the silence at the other end of the phone when I told Art Gensler, the founder of our firm, that I wouldn't be going to Shanghai. What was amazing about all of this was I didn't lose my job, nor did everything come to a complete stop in my absence. That's because of my other partners. Partners matter at work too, and I have a unique relationship with my partners at Gensler, characterized by a great deal of mutual respect. In design, as in life, you can't go it alone. You need partners who've got your back, who you come to like, even love as friends. I'm one of 5 people who lead our firm. We grew up together, working as partners. Gensler just celebrated its 50th anniversary. We didn't found the firm, but we took it way beyond what the founders envisioned. We don't always agree, but just as a family works things out at the dinner table, we work things out at the conference table. Now the next generation is stepping up. We spend a lot of time and money getting people from far-flung places to meet and collaborate. It's not just about great work, it's about great people. If you don't love your work and the people who are in your life at home and at work, success is likely to be harder to achieve and the rewards are a little empty. Everything I've just talked about is a lifetime's work. Achieving significance, building a reputation, and finding the right partners are outcomes of the choices you make and the care and the effort you put into making those choices pay off. You've come this far, no small achievement, but think of this moment as the end of the beginning. What your life looks like, how you approach it, these are questions for each of you to answer in your own unique way. But as a fellowship of designers, we have the opportunity every single day to remake the world through our work. Never hesitate to take it. I hope that your lives are long and your careers fulfilling, and I hope we meet again, perhaps as colleagues. You've become part of a great tradition. Go out and make your mark on life. Be significant, make a difference. Thank you, and best of luck to the class of 2016.
Thank you, Robin. We appreciate your wise words for our graduates and extend congratulations on receiving the honorary degree. And now we have other degrees to confer. Chancellor Cheek, will you please do the honors?
Thank you, Dean Poole. It's my honor to be here today to congratulate you as you become alumni of the University of Tennessee. Each of you has learned to think critically, to communicate, and to lead. Each of you have big ideas and are ready to change the world. This is a fantastic day for you in your lives and also the lives of your family and friends. And I'm proud to be here to share that with you today. Degree candidates, will you please stand? By your presence today, you demonstrate that you have completed all the necessary requirements for your degree and have been recommended for graduation by the faculty of the College of Architecture and Design. Therefore, by virtue of the authority of the state of Tennessee, vested in the Board of Trustees of the University of Tennessee system, and by them delegated to me, it gives me great pleasure to confer upon you the degrees that you have been recommended. Let's congratulate our new graduates. For undergraduate students, you may now move your tassels from right to left. Please be seated. Graduates, you are now part of a powerful worldwide network of more than 240,000 alumni. Please be seated. Sorry about that. 240,000 alumni who share the pride of being a Tennessee volunteer. And last August, I was in New York City, hosted at Gensler, and we had about 75 young alumni, old alumni, who came to that event, and they were proud to be Tennessee volunteers. And so I encourage you to remember your institution. I ask you to stay involved with us, remain active, and stay connected with the faculty in this college. I wish you much success as you leave the university and assume and become productive citizens. Congratulations on your accomplishments, and go Vols. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Cheek. We will now move to the hooding portion of the commencement ceremony, where we will celebrate each graduate. The hooding ceremony is divided into 4 sections, each part representing one of our 4 degree programs. Each degree program will feature a student speaker selected by their peers. We will then hood each graduate. We ask that you hold your applause until the end. For each of the 4 degree programs, one of the members of the stage party will take the podium. We will start with the Bachelor of Science in Interior Design. Now taking the podium is David Matthews, Director of the School of Interior Design.
It's really, truly my pleasure to introduce Amanda Webb. She's from Polk County, Tennessee, has not only earned a Bachelor of Science in Interior Design, she is focused on hospitality, retail, and tourism management. Amanda was part of the Smart Communities Initiative in Cleveland, Tennessee. Her design, in collaboration with Vivian McCann, was chosen as the potential future design of the Bradley County Health Department. Amanda also had the opportunity to work with clients in Lexi, Haiti, to design a campus for their community. She's playing a key part in the 2015 Haiti publication for the college as well. She was chosen as a representative for the interior design program at the Senior Toast, directed by Chancellor Jimmy Cheek and the Alumni Association. She'll remain in Knoxville, Tennessee, and begin her career with Ferguson Enterprises. Amanda.
Good evening. I want to thank all the families and friends that are here to support us tonight as we take this next step in our lives, for being with us through this journey, and for trying to understand all the projects we have sent you pictures of and attempted to explain to you. We know you had no idea what was going on. Don't worry, we didn't either. One of my favorite quotes from Frank Lloyd Wright is, "I know the price of success, dedication, hard work, and an unriveting devotion to the things that you want to see happen." This quote is a great example of how our lives have been throughout our college career. We came to UT at 18 years old, hoping we made the right decision that would shape the rest of our lives. It is a great but scary adventure all at once. In the first week of school, Dean Poole throws a welcome luncheon and reads an inspiring message to all of the students. This event is where you get the sense that this program isn't like the rest of UT. This program is like a family. These people around you are the ones that you will be with about 90% of the time for the rest of your college career. In a seminar lecture, Rian Arcour taught us, deliver the method and the thinking. It's all a part of the story. Knowledge is power. In every project, we are constantly developing and telling our story and why our ideas make sense. In the process, we are overcoming an objective and are gaining knowledge to make us more powerful designers. Our first project at UT is the beloved line square rectangle. This leads into our first pinup, where our professors wanted us to give an educated explanation of why we placed these elements the way we did. And all we want to say is, I don't know, because I wanted to. This was basically our first lesson on how to ramble and make it sound like we knew what we were talking about. Second year, we start to find our way a little more. There is a joke between the students of the college that anyone that isn't in the architecture and design program is a normal college student. The main question we have gotten asked at this point from these normal students are, do you ever sleep? The lights are always on in that building. Your friends outside of the program cannot understand why you do this to yourself, or they basically think you are modeling tiny buildings every day for fun. Third year, we have a grasp on things, and if you've made it to this point, you are doing well. Then the time comes that we have to learn how to draw construction documents. Our professor, Liz Teston, who is like our big sister, had the honor of trying to get us to comprehend this part of design. I just want to say thank you for bearing with us through this process. Fourth year, we are starting to see the finish line. When the spring semester rolled around, we all started getting the stress of, okay, now what do I do with my life? We also realized that this is the last time this family and support system that we have created will no longer be together. These past years, the building has become more like a home to us. We spent more time there than our own apartments. Some of our favorite memories are the ones where we have all been together as a class. This family has seen you at your worst and has seen you at your best. This family has seen you develop from the 18-year-old scared student to becoming a young designer ready to take on the world. We have created friendships that will last a lifetime. We have learned so much from our professors, not just about design, but also advice about life. Design school is the most frustrating and rewarding experience. There is no definite answer. You work intensely throughout the semester for one project, and when you finally see your work pinned up at the final review, that feeling of accomplishment is undeniable. It would have been ideal and probably easier to be like the normal college students, but the normal college students will never know the person sitting next to them today like we do. They won't know how hard you have worked to achieve this milestone in your career. I know that only great things are ahead of each of you. I want to wish you the best of luck, and I will miss being with you every single day. And of course, go Vols!
Fantastic. Thank you, Amanda. I'd like to ask the Bachelor of Science in Interior Design students to proceed toward the stage. Would everyone please hold their applause until the last of the interior design graduates have been hooded?
Aaron Collins. Lauren E. Ferguson. Geneva Christine Frank. Jessica Christine Hedgepeth. Megan Herod. Vivian McCann. Erin Marie McLevy. Madison Claire Mitchell. Tatum Nicole Rumsey. Rocky Catherine Sood. Sydney Taylor Spears. Amanda Page Webb. Brett Whitworth.
Thank you for their congratulations to you all for your accomplishments in the School of Interior Design. I'd like now to introduce Jason Young, Director, School of Architecture.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone in the room This is quite a great day. It's my pleasure to be here. So on behalf of the students earning the Bachelor of Architecture degree, it's my pleasure to introduce Jerry Clifton Sullivan. That's right. To speak on behalf of his colleagues. Jerry's from Bulls Gap, Tennessee. During his time in the college, he's been a member of the American Institute of Architecture students all 5 years and served as treasurer for the past 2. He had the privilege to participate in our Beardsley Farm design build studio, where his team's design was selected to be developed by the rest of the members of the studio. That Beardsley Farm project had a ribbon cutting on Monday of this week, an important accomplishment of our faculty and students, and particularly this class who was involved heavily in that effort. Jerry's worked on exhibits with Diane Fox this year and had the opportunity to design the downtown window display in celebration of our 50th anniversary. His career plans are to move to a metropolitan area where he can be heard and to make his mark. And before I invite him up, I'll just say one thing, that the first day of class last fall was my first day here at the University of Tennessee. We set up a photo booth, a camera, the students could come have their picture taken. Later that evening, I reviewed the photos. There were 7 in a row of Jerry Clifton Sullivan, and I thought to myself, I will likely be introducing this person to speak on behalf of his colleagues. Each of the images was very different from the one before it. And then about 20 images later, he reappeared in the lineup for a second chance. So it's my pleasure to introduce Jerry Clifton Sullivan.
Okay. Not that short. Okay. Distinguishing faculty, family, fellow graduates, guests, good evening. My name is Jerry Clifton Sullivan, and I represent one of the many voices of the class of 2016, and probably the loudest. First off, I would like to give a special thanks to God and my family, because without their love and support, I wouldn't be standing here today. Coming in, we all had no idea how to get through architecture school. 5 years later, we still have no idea how to get through architecture school. The one thing that I do know is that the late nights, long studio lectures, and the coffee runs were all possible because everyone's sitting in front of me here today. In the end, it was the little things that added up to the big things. It was never about having the correct line weight or even completing a project. It was about all those moments in between starting the project and ending the project. The past 5 years have been about all the personalities and lessons we have learned from each other. Whether you realize it or not, you will miss my random singing during studio. I can show you the world. The graduation class is right in front of me. Hope I'm doing really good right now. Okay. We will all miss that one person that asked a few too many questions. We will also miss that freshman year roommate that will never let you live down some moments. We will also miss the one who talks a little too loud. Oh wait, that's still me. And the one that talks a little too soft. We will all take for granted the people who were able to make it through a full studio hungover. They're the real Tau Sigma Deltas. We will all miss that one person that thinks they know everything to the question. We won't, however, miss those people who got their projects done on time. Seriously? Or even those few people who were able to do a test print. Like, where's the fun in that? Thanks to the friends who were able to make us smile when we wanted to cry, and a special thanks to the ones that helped us design our projects 10 minutes before we pinned up. The consistency in this room is incredible. There was always that daily question before you walked into studio. You didn't do anything for today, right? Okay, good, me either. I'll miss that. or the occasional, "I'm so over this project." Safe to say, some of us got more sleep than others. Even when you think you didn't get a lot of sleep, you would look over and see Trevor asleep on his keyboard. Then you realize, maybe I did get enough sleep. See, it's the little things. It's the personalities in this room that make architecture school worth it. Ooh. Without each other, we wouldn't be walking across the stage today. At times, the projects seem to never end, and at the end, right before the deadline, snuck up on us every time. There was that professor who said, "You think you have enough time to finish this?" Yep, they were right. Well, we always thought we had time, and now we're graduating and wishing that our professors wasn't right. Most of the people came out of college saying that was the best 4 years of our life, but obviously they weren't architecture majors in Tennessee. Because if it wasn't for them, they didn't realize that 5 years was the best part of our lives. 4 years ago today, we were told we're illiterate. Look at us now. Thank you to everyone that helped us get here. Thank you for all the friendship and memories. Thank you to our teachers and the countless hours you have dedicated to all of us and our futures. And a big thank you to the friends and families outside of architecture that helped us get along the journeys. Hipsters unite.
Thank you, Jerry. Good job. So it's now time for us to recognize our Bachelor of Architecture graduates. I'd like to invite the Bachelor of Architecture students to proceed towards the stage. And again, everyone, please hold your applause until the last student crosses the stage. Thank you.
Ryan Ballack. Paul Tamanatoku Bamson. David Barry. Kenna Saika. Dylan Joseph Canfield. Irene Chang. Angela Megan Clays. Macy Clower. Case Davis. Peter Z. Giddings. Patrick Bailey Green. Mubarak Naji Houter. Bryce Rucker Holmes. Sierra Rose Jensen. Kelsey E. Julian. Catherine Mary Kuntz. Christina Rose Lulich. Hannah Marie Margush. Trevor Mays. Keely McDonald. Joshua Blade Parsley. Brittany Peters. Alexis Mary Porton. Gina Catherine Rafanti. Jerry Clifton Sullivan. Allison Ann Randall. C. Blake Roberts. Nathaniel Joel Ryman. McVan English Scott. Amy Elizabeth St. John. Emily Marie Threadgill. Hunter Michael Todd.
Okay, congratulations. Great group, great class. Okay, it's now my pleasure to introduce Justin Hare, who's been asked on behalf of the 2016 Master of Architecture candidates to address the assembly. Justin's from Asheboro, North Carolina, and as an undergraduate student, he entered UT Knoxville, in 2001. After almost a decade of on and off again attendance, he received a BA in sociology in 2010. A couple of years later, Justin began studying architecture in our 3.5-year curriculum. He's had the opportunity while here to represent his cohort of graduate students on several occasions in the AIAS, as the graduate student director, as the student representative on the graduate program committee, and as a graduate student rep on the Dean's Student Advisory Council. He's also worked in the Fab Lab since we moved into that facility just under 2 years ago. And he knows firsthand what an important facility that is for the college. He's the oldest of 4 children and credits his father for instilling an entrepreneurial spirit and a sense of dedication to accomplishing any task that he starts. His current interests are in the potential of networks of digital information to inform spatial conditions and facilitate interaction and experience. So before I welcome him up, I'll say that I have had the great pleasure of working closely with Justin on a number of these, the graduate program committee, and he has also assisted me in the Office of the School of Architecture. And I can attest to his entrepreneurial spirit and get it done attitude. So please help me welcome Justin Hare.
Lost my tassel there. Thanks, Jason. That was good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, honored guests. I'd like to start out with a sincere thank you to all of you that have been here to support us during our journey here at school. Most of all, I'd like to thank my wife, Lisa, who it's doubtful that without her support I'd even be here today speaking with you. Lisa, I know you're over here generally. I love you. Thank you so much for helping me accomplish my dreams. I'd also like to thank you guys, the graduating graduate students here. My experience at UT would not have been the same without each and every one of you guys. And it's easier to overlook, but important to remember the effect that you have on others. Each of you has had a profound effect on the person sitting right next to you. And I hope you guys realize that. So while the graduate school curriculum is a bit different than the undergraduates, we're not kept in as close proximity for as long, but I would say that our bonds are equally as intense over the shorter period that we have spent together. When I found out that I was nominated to give the speech, I was shocked, I was very grateful, and honestly still a little terrified. I'm not really sure what you guys were thinking, but thanks. I wasn't really sure where to start in giving a speech, particularly of this importance. I did my undergrad here at UT, and as Jason mentioned, it took me a while. So my public speaking course I took in an undergraduate has all but left me by now. But like any good design student taking on a new task, I started by doing research. I watched numerous videos on YouTube on how to give a commencement speech. I did a little reading, read a book on it. And it would seem there's kind of a predictable pattern to give one of these things. First, you open with a courteous and genuine greeting. I think I got that. Follow up with some sort of joke, yet to be determined. talk about how your life has been transformed from when you walked in the door, being inexperienced and unaware, and how now have transformed into this super genius that's going to save the world, and then eventually come around to a conclusion about everybody's future potential. After I was doing all this research, I kind of felt like I was cheating, and I wasn't really being true to our shared experience. So what did I do? I had to ask other people, and I got their opinions and their thoughts. And as I got other people involved, it kind of dawned on me why you guys probably put me up here. If you don't know me, I'll let you in on a secret. I really enjoy helping other people and interacting with others that might not necessarily share the same views and opinions that I have. Having a desire to include people, and particularly those that make me think in a different way, that challenge me, and that can interject a different perspective into situations that I do not have that ability to do. I want to bring people together and include everyone, as these guys can attest to. And I would say it's definitely by working with others, whether it's grad or undergrad alike. This thing is, okay. That's better. So it's through working with others that I've really learned the most about myself and about design. So they always tell you, and I guess I would say that I've heard this, that you're not supposed to define yourself by others, that you should be an individual. Well, I think this is particularly true, I guess. I don't fully agree with it. I believe that, in fact, more attention should actually be given to the others in your life that have the ability to make you better. And as I was reflecting on how to give this speech and recognizing what I have learned at UT, a quote that I kind of enjoyed kind of popped into my mind, and it goes like this: "You are not unique, you are not special snowflakes." And in case you're unfamiliar with this quote, it's from a movie called Fight Club, and in it, one of the main characters is also presenting to a group. While this might sound like negative or a dystopian comment, I honestly find it rather appropriate, so bear with me. Even if you are special and unique, and one of the exceptional few that will rule the world eventually, architecturally speaking, of course, something to consider is that a single snowflake is not a very impressive sight when seen in isolation. A snowflake is most impressive when it's surrounded by others, flooding the field and working in tandem to create an awe-inspiring experience that transcends what any single individual can accomplish. The point that I'm trying to make is that as we move forward down our perspective paths, we need to surround ourselves with others that can make us better and more impressive than we could possibly hope to be on our own. We shouldn't be content in just curating a group of people that are like-minded or from similar backgrounds. We need to actively seek out those that challenge us and that can make our lives more difficult, that force us to see the world through their eyes. We must learn to be empathetic to those whose voices we can't hear and react to those we can. It's often the unheard that feel marginalized. Now, I'm not saying it's our responsibility to save the world, because that's a heavy burden and no single group can possibly accomplish that task on their own. I do strongly believe, though, with all of my heart, that collectively we have the ability to positively affect the lives of others in a very meaningful and significant ways. That's our responsibility as we venture out into the world. Yet again, graduate students. I want to thank you guys for your time and your patience. I know it's been a long road to get here, and we need to celebrate these accomplishments and look back on this time that we've had together fondly. I mean, remember that everyone that you've met to this point has influenced you and in some way to help you get where you are today. Thank you, and congratulations, graduating class of 2016.
Okay, thank you very much, Justin. It's now time to recognize our Master of Architecture graduates, so I'd like to ask them to please proceed towards the stage, and again, for everyone to hold your applause until the last student has been hooded.
Jennifer Applin. Adam Buchanan. Nicole Ann Drellick. Rebecca Galogli. Justin Hare. Daniel H. Hodge. Kevin Patrick Jeffers. Samyukta Kertirasan. Ethan William Keller. Christian Faye Irene Kirk. Haley Aaron Moore. Jessica Ryan Porter. Denver George Sells. Allison Marie Summers. Mark Anthony Traylor. Robert Vincent Truca. Kimberly A. Wojcik.
All right, congratulations. A lot of potential in that group. We're expecting great things from you guys. So it's now my pleasure to introduce Gail Fulton, Director of the School of Landscape Architecture, to the podium.
Thanks, Jason. It is my pleasure to introduce Luis Venegas as the 2016 Landscape Architecture Commencement speaker. Luis is originally from Costa Rica, but has also lived in Nicaragua and Panama. And before pursuing a Master of Landscape Architecture degree at the University of Tennessee, he received a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from UT. Luis cites the experience of living in 3 different countries, combined with an interest in becoming involved in larger conversations about cities, infrastructure, and the impacts on people and the environment as being amongst the primary drivers that led him to seek a change in career path through landscape architecture. During his time in landscape architecture at UT, Luis has provided valuable service and leadership for the school in several ways, such as serving in multiple positions in the student chapter of the American Society of Landscape Architects and helping to organize workshops and charrettes. He has helped build interdisciplinary relationships on and off campus and promoted the program by attending state, regional, and national conferences. Luis spent the summer of 2015 at the office of Ed Stone and Associates in Florida and is one of 9 interns selected from an international pool to be taking place in Design Workshop's prestigious intern program this summer, which he'll spend in their Chicago office. Throughout his graduate education, Luis has become increasingly interested in the intersection that exists between landscape, infrastructure, and technology, and he looks forward to continued investigation of these hybrid landscapes in his professional career. Now, as Dean Poole said earlier, he started with the graduating 2016 class, I believe 5 years ago, correct? I came in at the same time as Luis and this graduating class did in the landscape program. It's a 3-year Master of Landscape degree. And so I'm just gonna, before I invite Luis up, I'm just going to say that Luis and I have been through a lot together. He's been certainly an interesting and dynamic student to have in the program, and we're happy to see that he's got his career started off well.
Thank you, Gail. That was very kind. Before I start, just to kind of give everybody a heads up, I'm doing this in English and a little bit in Spanish because my family is here, and they don't all speak English. Good evening, everyone. I am humbled and honored to be up here on behalf of the 2016 Masters of Landscape Architecture class. To begin, I would like to thank everyone that is here with us today to share and celebrate this special day. A day that signifies one more great achievement in our personal and professional lives. Thanks to our professors that guided and challenged us, that helped shape our creativity to be able to embrace the beautiful complexities of the design process. I would like to thank our families for their strength and support, and to our friends that are always there for advice and laughter. This moment would not be possible without the people around us, especially in those moments when we felt like giving up. Thank you very much for all this incredible support. Quiero primero que todo agradecerles a nuestros profesores por su guía y por ayudarnos a entender el complejo proceso que es diseñar. Quiero agradecer a nuestras familias, que han sido los más importantes pilares de soporte durante estos últimos 3 años, y finalmente a nuestros amigos, que han estado junto a nosotros en momentos en que nos hemos sentido con ganas de darnos por vencidos. Este es un día muy especial para nosotros y un logro enorme en nuestras vidas, de manera personal y profesional. Gracias por ayudarnos a lograr nuestro deseo y sueño de ser arquitectos paisajistas. I remember when our class began with what we like to call the original 3, Zach, Rebecca, and myself. I also clearly remember how utterly insane it was to start that summer building one-to-one installations and walking endless miles around New York City, while trying to sketch buildings in what seemed a split second. I remember how little sense it made when we were asked, how spatial is that? And can picture very clearly when we all lost it after continuous sleepless nights. It's hard to believe that we would become inspired by such a wild experience, but here we are. Our class grew and then shrunk. And today, us 6 are here about to step into the next phase of this uncertain and creative adventure we call life. It's a bit hard to think about a single moment that defines our group. We all have very different backgrounds and seek quite different niches within our profession. Not only that, because we started that summer mixed with friends in architecture and interior design, we all have kind of blended and found our groups within this. but I wanted to take a moment and highlight a few memories with each of you in the class. I'll start with Chinyu. She has been always very quiet, especially when she started the program. If I struggled with the architectural jargon, because English is my second language, I can't imagine how it was for her when she first came from China. Despite the clueless looks on her face 3 years ago, she has come a long way. She has always surprised us with very well-crafted thoughts in our theory classes. With Rebecca and Aaron, there was never a dull theory class. They would take over and it was hard to stop them, especially when it was one of those deep theoretical discussions. With Rebecca, I can't forget how many times she has asked me questions about engineering. No, even though I do have a background in civil engineering, it doesn't mean I know anything about electrical or mechanical engineering. I think we will never forget our conversations about my passionate crushes, and that day you threaded that aluminum wire through your hand. From Aaron, I will always admire his dedication and creativity and his well-crafted drawings. But most of all, I will always be amazed by how many words he could make up while presenting. Kate came in during our second year and amazed us with how efficient she can be at producing work. But I think it's her carefree attitude that most stands out. I would never be able to say sexy time during our review. Props to your ability to say what no one would ever say and keep a straight face. Zach is the details man in the group. He is normally very quiet despite being the tallest in the class, and always has produced very interesting projects, crafted very delicately. With Zach, I won't forget the many times we both got injured while playing basketball after studio, and the many suggestions of classic American movies to watch. Finally, there's this crazy Costa Rican, so passionate about soccer and dancing salsa, the only one capable of running across Market Square with his flag after watching one amazing match that his country won during the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Very stubborn when attempting to embrace design, and always getting involved in too many things. But hey, I guess it's good that he got preferential treatment at Soccer Taco. I know there are many more memories to share, but we'll keep those for when we get a chance to catch up. It's crazy to look back and realize that 3.5 years have already gone by. 3.5 years of learning to embrace and enjoy this unique and wild world of design. A world composed of ambiguities, uncertainties, and endless open-ended answers. A world that never has a perfect solution. A world that has taken our preconceptions and any knowledge background that we bring and puts it to its true test. A world that helps you develop a new language, a new way of thinking in the pursuit of creative ideas and solutions. We all join this world in this profession driven by a desire to find broader and more meaningful conversations. Conversations that explore the complexities of our current global challenges and that make us question our relationship with what we build and how it affects us and the environment. Landscape architecture is a greatly misunderstood profession, but one with tremendous potential to lead a much needed change in how things are done. I can confidently say that we can be proud to have chosen this career path. People might still think we just design gardens, but we know better. Let's be proud to call ourselves landscape architects. Our program is young, but I think within that youth lies the true greatness of it. There is plenty of room to grow individually as well as collectively, in addition to great opportunities to influence the direction that our program takes. The current leadership has pushed us with novel ideas and have truly stretched our capacity to learn, think, and design creatively. There has been a steep learning curve, but nothing of real value is ever achieved taking the simple path. We have all struggled, but I think we have all been challenged, and in return, have found the direction that we want to take as we leave the program. I strongly believe that we have all left our mark in our program, and it will continue to become better and more well-known and established. Nuestro programa es joven, pero es lo más bonito. Es un programa que nos ha permitido crecer y nos ha permitido dejar nuestra huella. Sé que escogimos una carrera un poco malentendida, pero a la vez es una carrera con una capacidad increíble para liderar cambios necesarios. Ahora que estamos pronto a comenzar nuestro camino profesional, quiero motivarlos a seguir siendo curiosos, siempre buscando crecer y fortalecer nuestra capacidad para generar ideas y soluciones creativas. Lo más lindo de esta carrera de diseño es que nos ayuda a enfrentar y disfrutar, además, las complejidades e incertidumbres que conforman nuestra vida. As we embark on this phase professionally, but most importantly, personally, I encourage everyone to embrace the beauty of the uncertainties that our profession and life has in store for us. We all found our way to this meeting point and brought our knowledge, values, and experiences to grow together and learn from each other for the past 3.5 years. I have no doubts that we will continue to support each other and that we will continue to pave our paths to achieve our goals. Don't ever stop working, don't ever stop being curious and pushing your creative abilities. Always strive to make a difference and continue to seek challenges. Pura vida, mis amigos. Con mucho cariño, les deseo suerte a todos. I wish you all good luck and look forward to catching up soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Luis. Okay, so I'd like to now ask the degree candidates in landscape architecture to proceed to the stage. And as with the other groups, would everyone please hold their applause until all of the landscape architecture graduates have been hooded.
Yu Chin. Kate Choi. Zachary Lee Hunter. Rebecca Rainey. Luis Diego Venegas.
So please congratulate our graduates receiving degrees in landscape architecture. Thank you.
On behalf of our college, I would like to extend to each of our honored graduates heartfelt congratulations. This momentous event is by no means a parting of our ways. I'm optimistic that each of you will remain engaged with us as we endeavor to become the best College of Architecture and Design in the United States. As you leave the University of Tennessee, know that you come from a special place. Remember the excellence that you encountered here and spread that pursuit of excellence wherever you go in the world. Please give our graduates a final round of applause. At this time, I would like to welcome back vocalist Lindsay Fuson, who will to sing our alma mater to close this ceremony. Please stand and remain standing until the academic recessional of the stage party, faculty members, and our honored graduates is complete. Thank you for joining us today, and best wishes to you all.
Like beacon So